Calling all Renegades, it's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and I am so excited to have you here for Renegades of Puck TV. Before we get started, please let me tell you about renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to our website, you'll be able to learn everything about the Renegades of Puck. You'll especially be able to click on that merchandise link. That'll take you right there to our store where you can find the classic logo t-shirts, of course, always in our store. You can find the Pride logo t-shirt, which I'm wearing right here in the bunker today. And of course, you can find all of the gimmicks that the Renegades of Puck are famous for. We still have socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, and about 54 other items in our online store with our logo on it. The Renegades of Puck have sold out so that you can buy in. Once you're done looking at renegadesofpuck.com, we could also use your help on social media. It is of critical importance to an operation and an organization that is barely 6 months old that you can take just a couple of seconds and help us out on social media. YouTube is where we are posting our primary episodes, so we would appreciate a subscription there. Also, if you could turn on those notifications. Once we have our episodes posted on YouTube, we would love it if you would share those on Facebook. That's right, you can find the Renegades of Puck very easily on Facebook. Also, send those links around your Twitterverse. Find the Renegades of Puck on Twitter. Give us a like, give us a follow, and definitely share those links. We are on Instagram. You can find us there. You can find a full audio version of the show in classic podcast form on our SoundCloud page. And of course, our behind-the-scenes Twitch stream. It's live, and it is the first to get the information out. It also contains any errors, mistakes, and second takes that might happen in the bunker. And oh yeah, as of late, it has been full of beer drinking, F-bombs, and some really great bonus content, including Wade Belak at the zoo and Kevin Klein's family at one of my tailgates. You'll just have to check out the Twitch stream if you want to know more about that. Also, become a partner of the Renegades of Puck, and thank you so much. After the last episode, I requested some additional funds to help us replenish what was spent on the home base freakout, and a couple of you came through with incredible donations on Venmo. You can find us at Renegades of Puck, or you can scan the QR code right there on your screen. Every dollar that you donate goes directly to the Renegades of Puck. Built by Renegades for Renegades. With your support, we can accomplish anything here in the trenches. It's quite obvious. Just take a look around the bunker. Look at the significant upgrades we've made in just a couple of months. Stick taps love and respect to each and every one of you out there for making a donation. Again, even a couple of dollars goes a long way to buying me, your host and captain, a cup of coffee and keeping me moving as we go through these long weekends and the no half-stepping portion of the schedule. Speaking of no half-stepping, it's exactly what you come here for, the no half-stepping hockey coverage. So, let me deliver the goods to you. Operation number 619 for the Renegades Puck. That's right. This is show number 619, and on this date in history, we find the Nashville Predators currently sitting in 4th place in the Central Division after 58 games played. They have a record of 33, 21, and 4. That is 70 points on the season. They are currently sitting 2 points behind the 3rd place Minnesota Wild, and they are currently sitting 5 points behind the 2nd place St. Louis Blues. 1st place is long distant in the horizon, 17 points behind the Colorado Avalanche, and it looks like the Avs are easily going to run away with the division down the stretch. Now, the Nashville Predators do have a brief cushion between them and 5th place Dallas of 3 points, and then you'll find an 8-point cushion over the Winnipeg Jets, then 20 and 30 respectively over Chicago and Arizona, and it is almost time to stop talking about those teams completely. Now, I mentioned the Minnesota Wild being 1 place ahead in the standings in the Central Division of the Nashville Predators. Well, that is the Nashville Predators' next opponent. The second opponent on their back-to-back, the first being St. Louis. Full game recap of that coming up here shortly, and tomorrow will take place in Minnesota on the road. So a back-to-back in just over 24 hours of time, critical importance to the Central Division. The Minnesota Wild have played 1 less game than the Nashville Predators, also had a day off while the Preds played today. 34-19-4 is their record. They have 72 points on the season. They have a home record of 17-6-1. The Preds have a road record of 16-10-4. This is the battle of third place in the Central Division, as the Nashville Predators will hold the tiebreakers with the Minnesota Wild at this point if they come away with the victory in the first game of the season between these two Central Division rivals. It was the Preds with a 5-2 victory over the Wild. That took place on October the 24th. It was the captain Roman Josi with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points in the game, and Ryan Johansson had 2 goals. Big save Dave got the start and got the victory. These two teams will play 2 more times. Both of them will take place at Bridgestone Arena in the month of April on the 5th and the 24th. All of those points are going to be incredibly critical. So 6 points against the Minnesota Wild are available starting tomorrow through the rest of the regular season schedule. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game in Minnesota, they will come back on home to face off against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Tuesday. Another single game road trip on Thursday in Philadelphia, back home on Saturday to face off against the Maple Leafs, and then a road trip to the West Coast, March 21st, 22nd, back-to-backs in Anaheim and L.A., and they will finish that road trip in Vegas. Now, the Minnesota Wild have had a day off and a chance to sit back and watch the Nashville Predators face off against a very tough opponent in the St. Louis Blues. Let me take you through the most recent set of action for the Minnesota Wild. We go back to the 4th of March. It was a 5-4 loss at the Buffalo Sabres. Followed that up 2 nights later with a 6-3 loss at the Dallas Stars. On the 8th, it was a 5-2 win versus the New York Rangers. On the 10th, a 6-5 shootout win at the Detroit Red Wings. And most recently, a 3-2 shootout loss at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, it's very intriguing when you look inside the matchup between these two teams. They have numbers that are all over the place. That's why these two teams are in the middle of the pack in the Central Division. Goals for favors the Minnesota Wild by a wide margin. 3.70 is a highly impressive number. As a matter of fact, it's 4th best in the NHL, making the Preds 3.14, which is actually quite a good number, at 13th in the NHL. Not look like it's that good of a number. Now, goals against favors the Preds at 2.79. That's 10th best in the league, while Minnesota is giving up 3.21 goals against per game. That is 23rd in the NHL. Shots for has been abysmal all season for the Predators. Quality, quantity, the argument no longer matters. Just put some pucks on the net. 29.4 is 27th in the NHL. Minnesota's 12th best in the league. Shots against, 23rd. Minnesota, so the Preds may have an opportunity to get some more shots than they usually do. The Preds giving up 31.5 per game is 16th best in the NHL. In the special teams matchup, it favors the Nashville Predators in every way. Power play converting at 24.3% is 8th best in the NHL. The Preds have scored 43 times on 177 opportunities. The power play for the Minnesota Wild is 17th in the NHL. They've scored 35 times on 173 opportunities. On the PK, Minnesota is 23rd. The Nashville Predators are 16th. Minnesota has given up a large number of power play goals against, 45 on the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, one concern. Mark Borowiecki has not been able to get back in the lineup, is still listed as day-to-day, and since he did not play on Saturday afternoon against St. Louis, it is highly questionable whether he will play on Sunday evening against the Minnesota Wild. So that is definitely a spot of concern for the Nashville Predators as we head closer and closer towards the trade deadline. Perhaps some depth scoring, perhaps another defenseman added to the roster. We will have to see. David Poile going to have to make some decisions as the Nashville Predators currently are competing very much for a wild card spot, but are also very much alive in the 2 or 3 spot in the Central Division. Both of these teams have incredibly high-skilled individuals, and if you think Roman Josi's 15 goals and 47 points for 62 points is impressive, look across the ledger at Minnesota Wild and Kaprizov at 30 goals, 43 assists, now 73 points on the season. One of the best players in the NHL over the last couple of seasons. He is definitely performing at an incredibly high level. Going down the Minnesota Wild side of the ledger first, Zuccarello second on the team in scoring, 19 goals and 41 assists for 60 points. Kevin Fiala, former Nashville Predators, at 20 goals in the season and 33 assists for 53 points overall. Hartman at 23 goals and 20 assists for 43 points. Again, another former Nashville Predator. Foligno at 19 and 12 for 31 points. Talbot in net is 22, 12 and 1 on the season, a 906 save percentage, and a goals against average even at 3. I mentioned Roman Josi has 62 points now for the Nashville Predators in 58 games played, so still maintaining that +4 points per game on the season and still pacing with Paul Kariya. We'll put that aside for today, though. Matt Duchene at 31 goals now and 26 assists is just 3 goals from setting the Nashville Predators single-season goals record, currently held by Victor Arvidsson, but it seems that won't be for much longer. His 26 assists make it 57 points on the season. Philip Forsberg also within striking distance of the regular season goals record, 29 goals and 22 assists for 51 points. Ryan Johansson now with 15 goals in the season and 29 assists for 44 points, having a really solid year. Granlund at 9 and 34 for 43 points. UC Saros after this game against the St. Louis Blues, now 28, 18, and 3 and 9, 23 save percentage and 2.44 goals against average. Big Save Dave showed that he could go into Minnesota and come away with a victory earlier in the season and was quite strong. A really good record of 4-2-1, while the rest of the numbers not so great. That's because he really took a beating in some of the small sample size on the season at 890 save percentage, a 3.17 goals against average. But again, he has proven he can come in and play big time in big games. For John Hines, he has not hesitated to run UC Saros out there for back-to-back games, even when they are less than 24 hours apart, even when there is travel involved. So it is questionable at this time as to who is going to get the start. But for the Nashville Predators, I would not have any problem with Big Save Dave getting the start in Minnesota. He's already proven in one meeting this season that he can come away with victory. UC Saros has yet to face the Minnesota Wild, but would potentially have 2 more opportunities on the schedule moving forward. It's the battle of third place in the Central Division. It's incredibly critical that the Nashville Predators come back and seize this opportunity after dropping one on home ice to the St. Louis Blues. Let's get into that full game recap. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports. You can find them online at rebirthsports.com. You can also find them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we sure do appreciate all the stick taps, love, and respect from all of you Renegades of Puck to Rebirth Sports. You know their work. You've seen it on this show many times. You've seen me wearing their jerseys all over the place. The Renegades of Puck home and away jersey, something coming very soon, very special on the jersey front from Rebirth Sports concerning the Renegades of Puck. You've also seen me wearing Rebirth Sports jerseys for the Mighty Drunks as I'm winning Stanley Kegs in the Wish Cup tournament, also on Lake Nokomis for the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships. Everywhere I go and everywhere I skate and everywhere I see hockey being played, Rebirth Sports is being represented out there on the sheet. They're incredible people. They make an incredible product, and they're incredible partners. I am so appreciative and so lucky to have such valuable people working with me here in the trenches. Please go to rebirthsports.com, give them some stick taps, give them some love and respect, and check out how they can help your hockey organization out. They don't just make jerseys, they can outfit your whole operation. They are hockey tailors, and they are top shelf, top notch in every single way. Now, let's get into that Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to, well, about an hour and a half ago when John Hines deployed his lines at Bridgestone Arena for an matinee against the St. Louis Blues in the following ways. Forsberg, Johansson, and Duchene has become all the rage in Nashville Predators fan base in the last couple of games and should continue. Tobin and Granlund and Cunnin are your second line. Trent and Sissons and Janot make up the third line. Cousins, McCarron, and Tomasino are your fourth line for today. Yossi and Fabro, Ekholm and Carrier, Harper and Benning are your defensive pairings. Borowiecki still day-to-day. And UC Saros, of course, gets the start in net. Usually afternoon matinee games can be kind of sleepy, a little bit boring, and a little bit late to get the action going. But this is just 8 seconds into the first period, and Husso's already coming up with a save on Janot's backhand off of the rush. 13 seconds into the game, Husso's coming up with another save on Janot's rebound opportunity. 31 seconds into the first period, Ekholm goes behind the net and forces Husso to make a save. The Preds have 4 shots on goal in the first 31 seconds of the game. You talk about wanting to come out and start fast. Well, the Nashville Predators did everything but put the puck in the net in the first 31 seconds of the game. We are 2:35 into the first period. Brown is off the box, 2 minutes for roughing on Cousins after the whistle. Cousins doing a good job already getting under the skin of the St. Louis Blues and drawing a penalty right here. Unfortunately for the Preds, the PK would be very strong for the Blues, and each team would generate 1 shot on net. I feel the St. Louis Blues probably got the better of the scoring opportunities. 5:33 with the Preds having all the momentum in the game so far. Ryan Johansson's off the box, 2 minutes for holding. That's where we see Perron pick up his 15th goal of the season. It was a shot from the left circle with a solid flyby screen right there in front of UC Saros. St. Louis leads 2-1, and a large contingent of Blues fans, as they usually do, take the buses and come on down to Bridgestone Arena, are there, and they are roaring for the 1-0 lead for the St. Louis Blues. At 7:23 of the first period, Sod's got his 18th goal of the season. It was a neutral zone turnover by the Nashville Predators, and then a wrist shot through the legs of Benning, and now we have 2 shots 2 goals on 4 shots on goal for the St. Louis Blues, and they have a 2-0 lead on Saad's 18th of the season. 12:37, Saros comes in with a save on Barbashev. 15:55, Saros comes in with a save on Saad, stretching out the leg, plus getting the rebound. And then 16:18, we see Roman Josi off the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking, led to a large scrum after the whistle, and I made the note that St. Louis's physical play is working. It is frustrating the Nashville Predators. A couple of incredibly large hits on the Predators' defensemen throughout the first period has led to Roman Josi losing his cool just a little bit. Juuse Saros going to work right here on this penalty kill with a huge save on Perron, and then an even bigger save on Tarasenko. I call it a 5-star desperation layout save, but he came up with it. Unfortunately for Juuse Saros and the Nashville Predators, Thomas gets his 11th goal of the season just a few seconds later. He was wide open in the slot as all 4 of the Nashville Predators crashed down low following the puck. He was able to take his time and pick his spot. When you give an NHLer that much time and space, he's usually going to come away with a positive result. 3-0 now in favor of the St. Louis Blues, and the Nashville Predators crowd is just stunned. 18:34 with the first period. Matt Duchene's 30th goal of the season breaks through and gets the Nashville Predators on the board. The Preds now down 3-1. It was Johansson to Forsberg, back to Duchene at the back post, and the play began on the hard forecheck with Matt Duchene. So Duchene starts the play, and he ends the play, and we hit the end of the first period with a 3-1 hockey game, and the Nashville Predators being outshot 13-11. We're 2:24 into the second period, and Barbashev's off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. Forsberg hits the post after some slick passing. Everybody thought this puck went into the net for just a half of a second. We continue on with the power play, and that's when Ryan Johansson gets his 15th goal of the season. It was a one-timer from the high slot after a handoff pass from Duchene. Josi throws it over to Duchene across the zone. Duchene just puts it right on the stick just a couple of feet away of Ryan Johansson, and the Nashville Predators are right back in this game. Now we have a 3-2 hockey game at Bridgestone Arena in the second period. 4:35 in. Saros comes up with a save on Tarasenko with the sprawl out on the goal line. A huge save right here. 7:08 of the second period. Schen's off the box. 2 minutes for hooking in the offensive zone. Johansson then picks up a penalty. 2 minutes for interference. He set the pick play and he got called on it. We see a 4-on-4 situation, and Carrier has to come up with a huge defensive play as his stick saves a goal on the back post attempt, allowing the Nashville Predators to go back down the ice and Philip Forsberg cash in on his 29th goal of the season. It was a give and go with Ekholm on the rush, allowing the Nashville Predators to tie this game at 3 apiece. We're right back to the scoring action incredibly quickly. 11:38, St. Louis back on top now as Krug's got his 8th goal of the season, giving St. Louis a 4-3 lead. It was a double deflection off of the legs of Ekholm and Johansson and into the net behind Juuse Saros, but the Preds would respond immediately at 12:17 as Matt Duchene's got the second goal of the game, his 31st goal of the season. It was a give and go with Johansson off of the rush. He freezes Husso and goes bar down, and it looked incredible. Highlight reel goal for Matt Duchene, and yet another multiple goal game by Matt Duchene. 31 on the season now puts him within 3 of the Predators' single-season franchise goal-scoring record. We have a 4-4 hockey game in the second period. 16-13 with the Preds gaining a lot of momentum. Husso comes with a save on Forsberg, and then Saros comes up with a save on Brown. We hit the end of a highly entertaining second period, and Nashville is now out shooting St. Louis 25-23. We're 1:35 into the third period, and Parayko hits the crossbar with a knuckler that is a bomb. I am highly surprised that this puck was able to remain under the control that it was able to remain. We see a highly contested game in all 3 zones. Very physical hockey out there. Tanner Jeannot on board. Tuzo laying a huge hit on the forecheck, and things are definitely tightening up since this game tied up at 4 apiece. The Nashville Predators, though, start to gain some momentum around the middle part of the period. 8:15. Husso comes with a save on Tomasino on the doorstep. We see a scrum after the whistle. 8:37. We see Husso come with a save on Johansson again on the doorstep, plus a rebound opportunity. Another save on Granlund's rebound opportunity with the toe. Husso then comes up at 13:37 with a save on Trennan from the low circle. So the Nashville Predators are just firing away from close range, and Husso is coming up with a huge performance. 14:53. Saad is shoving Carrier into the post for no reason as Juuse Saros is clearing the puck. I thought that this should have been a penalty. Could have easily been for delay of game. Should have probably been for interference or dumbassery or something. There was just absolutely no reason. All it led to was a face-off outside the zone. zone. 15-16 of the third period. Husso comes up with another save on Forsberg off of the rush. That is the Predators' 10th shot on goal in the third period. 16:09 of the third period. UC Saros comes with a save on Bozak plus the rebound opportunity by St. Louis. We're into the final segment of the game now, and the Nashville Predators are looking to hang on, at least gain a point, if not come away with the victory. But that would all be upended very quickly at 17:22 when Thomas gets his second goal of the game, his 12th goal of the season. Kyrou goes down the wall and goes around Carrier and passes it to Thomas at the back post, who outworked Roman Josi to get to the puck and put it in. I've got to tell you, for being the number one pair on the Nashville Predators defensively, Roman Josi, the captain, and Alex Carrier, a highly touted prospect who has been very effective out there on the ice since last season. This is a play that cannot happen. Carrier cannot allow a player to just come down the wall and go right around him, and Roman Josi cannot be outworked the way he was on the back post. This is St. Louis abusing the Nashville Predators' number one defensive pairing and absolutely earning this goal. You can't say anything else about it. We would see the Nashville Predators down 5-4 at this point. We would see a very poorly timed UC Saros pull of the empty net. St. Louis would score by Perron 6-4, another empty net goal by Falk 7-4, and that's your final right there. And I have got to tell you, the Nashville Predators were down by 3 goals. Came back in this game, tied it up at 3. We're down by a goal, came back immediately and tied it up at 4. And we're within just a couple of minutes of picking up a point in this game and at least forcing it to overtime. This was a wasted opportunity on home ice. You had picked up a victory over St. Louis earlier this season in their rink, and this was the first opportunity in your rink to face off against them. Now, the season series is in favor of the St. Louis Blues, and those 2 points that you lost today, or even that 1 point that you lost today, could come back to haunt you in a highly critical way. For the Nashville Predators, when you get a game to that point in the last couple of minutes, you have got to do a better job of securing that solo point on home ice and then competing for that second winner's point. What happened today was absolutely disgraceful in the final minutes of the game after such an incredible comeback. Maybe I'm a little bit more angry about it because the Nashville Predators came back from down 3-0 and 4-3 and seemingly had this game in total control in the third period, and Husso goes ahead and takes care of business and puts on an absolute stellar performance in the third period, and the Nashville Predators fall 7-4 to the St. Louis Blues on home ice. They'll have one more opportunity against St. Louis this season, and if they find themselves in just the right spot, they could be in a first-round playoff matchup against this St. Louis Blues team. One thing I will say about that, I would caution you very much from wanting that, because if the Nashville Predators are supposed to be the big, bad, physical, intimidating, and imposing team in the Central Division, what I saw today was the St. Louis Blues knock the shit out of the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena at every single opportunity and be the more physical, the more aggressive, and the more intimidating team for 60 full minutes. UC Saros in this game was 28 out of 33, and some tough bounces and some tough luck. Overall, thought that he performed well when he was given the opportunity. A very poor timely pull at the end of the game by the head coach, John Hines, and the Nashville Predators end up giving 7 goals up against the St. Louis today. Now, the one good thing for the Nashville Predators, absolutely the first line. Duchesne, Forsberg, and Johansson now have been together for a couple of games and have been otherworldly. Just today, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points, 13 shots on goal for this first line. But I have to ask you, where is the secondary scoring? When I go through the box score, I see Duchesne's got 2 goals, Forsberg has a goal, Johansson has a goal, and that is all 4 goals. Also, on the assists, I see Duchesne has an assist, Forsberg has an assist, Johansson has 2 assists, and you only see 3 assists on the rest of the entire team. The Nashville Predators simply have to get more secondary scoring and more depth scoring if they have any hopes of making it into the playoffs and having any type of success in the playoffs. Luke Cunnin is a very good player on this Nashville Predators team, but is he a second-line scoring winger? He's not proving himself to be so. Is Tolvanen ready to move up and take that spot? He's proving to be a great grinder as of late. He's delivering plenty of hits. He's playing solid two-way hockey. But is he ready to step up and be a second-line scoring winger? The Nashville Predators, if it is feasible and affordable, could certainly use a little bit more scoring depth and scoring punch, since they are not getting the goods delivered from the lineup as it currently sits. So the first line was absolutely incredible. Secondary scoring was completely missing in this game. And, well, UC Saros felt like he should have had an opportunity maybe to steal this game, just simply did not have that opportunity. The double bounce off of his own players, that just did the Preds in this one. And so did a lot of other things, frankly. So the first line did great. The rest of the lines need to start chipping in, and they can start doing that in Minnesota tomorrow. Incredible partner of the show is Strong Style Fitness. New videos are coming soon, so we are so excited about that. Once we wrap up the NHL season and we wrap up Renegades of Puck TV, Strong Style Fitness will be taking over the studio space and recording a whole new batch of videos. Already 150 videos available to you on YouTube at your leisure, on demand, and completely free. That's right, a donation-based service by a certified personal trainer. So whether it's your first stretch or you throw iron like a pro, Tracy's got you all set up and taken care of. She has videos that don't require any equipment at all. She has videos that use the equipment you can find just around your kitchen and your house. And she also has videos for equipment that are for professionals. She'll talk you through it. She'll take you through it, and she'll make sure you're doing things the right way. It's an incredible service. And for those of you out there looking to save a little bit of money in the new year as things are getting incredibly difficult, well, Tracy and Strong Style Fitness is completely donation-based. It's completely free to you. And I know the results are out there. I've seen them. I've experienced them. Strong Style Fitness can do the same for you. Go ahead and check it out. Tracy is simply incredible. Give some stick taps, give some love, give some respect to Strong Style Fitness, strongstylefit.com, Strong Style Fitness, Instagram, Twitter, and, of course, Facebook. Sean C. Smith is in the trenches with me here on Renegades of Puck TV. He's got the intel that you need to know. He was on the front lines at Bridgestone Arena today, and he's going to tell me everything that happened between the Nashville Predators and the St. Louis Blues. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity. I'm curious to see what Sean's analysis and opinion is of that. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF, and of course you can find his work at ontheforecheck.com.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith, and I want to talk a little bit about the summer of 1998. And now, you know, usually you'd hear me say we're going to talk about the Preds game that just happened, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to talk about 1998, and I want to talk about Major League Baseball, because in 1998, there was a really big chase going on between what started off as 3 guys and ended up as just 2. But it was Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Ken Griffey Jr. In that season, those 3 gentlemen were going back and forth for the home run lead. And what was interesting was they were all 3 on pace at one point to break the single season record for most home runs by any individual player, which was Roger Maris with 61 home runs. Now, of course, as the summer went on, Ken Griffey Jr. kind of fell off pace, but Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire went back and forth. And eventually, Mark McGwire broke the record, hit home run 62, and finished the season with 70 home runs. Sammy Sosa not too far behind with 66. It was definitely an exciting summer if you like baseball and you like seeing records get broken. But it was really awesome to see 2 guys going back and forth to break an old record and to set a new one. Now, what's interesting about that is Mark McGwire played for the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals didn't even make the playoffs that season. And the Chicago Cubs, while they did make the playoffs, didn't record a single playoff win. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm talking about the summer of 1998. And here's why. Right now on the Nashville Predators, there's 2 guys going back and forth chasing a record, and that's a single season goal record set by Victor Arvidsson with 34 goals. Now, you've got Matt Duchene sitting at 31 after he scored goal 30 and goal 31 earlier today in the game against the Blues, and Philip Forsberg sitting at number 29, which he scored also today against the Blues. This is great stuff. I've enjoyed watching these guys go back and forth all season. It certainly made it interesting, and I want to know if they have a healthy competition between them to see who's going to set the record. Someone's got to break it, someone's got to set it, and I guarantee you it's going to be one of those guys. Who's it going to be? Who's going to break it first? Will they be the ones to end up setting the new record, or will they continue past 35 to set it even higher? I hope so. At the same time, Roman Josi is chasing Paul Kariya's single-season points record of 85 points. He's got 62 on the season with 24 games left. Plenty of time to make some noise, break the record, and set a new one. But here's what I want to say. We can enjoy this chase. We can enjoy these records being broken, but I don't want the Predators to end up like the St. Louis Cardinals, who had a guy set the single-season home run record, but failed to make the playoffs. This is a critical moment for the Predators as they go into what's going to be this game against the Wild, a team that's ahead of them in the standings, a chance to make up some ground and at the same time prevent the Wild from putting more distance between the Predators and themselves, which pushes them even farther back in the playoff chase. You want to see opportunities when you have Matt Duchene score 2 goals, when you have Philip Forsberg score 1 goal, when Roman Josi is piling up points. You don't want to squander those opportunities and end up on the bad side of the win column. You don't want to have an L there at the end of the 60 minutes. You want a W. You want 2 points. And while it's great to enjoy these goals and to enjoy this race, if we don't start seeing those wins develop at the end of extraordinary performances that we're seeing on the ice, then I'm afraid the playoffs are going to get farther and farther out of the picture. And of course, one of those guys I mentioned has an expiring contract. You want to see some wins come. You want to see some life. You want to see some guarantee that this team is going to go to the playoffs and make some noise. And Charlie, that's really all I have. And I know I talked about the summer of 1998. And I'm well aware that a team goal record is not the same as the league-wide all-time home run record. I get that. I don't want anybody to give me any garbage about that. I know they're different, but for the Predators, it's everything right now. So, Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you. Let's see the boys get up to Minnesota and get a win, and let's see some of these records get broken.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. You can find his work at ontheforecheck.com. You can also check out his work on a myriad of podcasts across the landscape of Nashville Predators coverage and watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He wears the A for a reason. He's my right-hand man, and I always appreciate having Sean in the trenches right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Ryan Baston's in sick bay right now. Kyle Perkins is in sick bay. Nostradamus is out taking care of some family business. So it's just going to be me and Sean for the day here in the trenches. I've already pretty much given you the box score. There's really nothing else for the Nashville Predators outside that first line. So in a way to save a little bit of time, since it is such a quick turnaround this weekend, the Nashville Predators are already on a plane heading to Minnesota for the game tomorrow in the later afternoon. I'll just go ahead and tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions, and then we'll go ahead and close out the show for today. Stripe Digital Solutions is an incredible partner. I've told you about Brandy so many times. Let me give you the particulars first. StripeDigitalSolutions.com. Stripe Digital Solutions on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Stripe Digital Solutions created the logo on the wall behind me, created the t-shirt and the logo I am wearing right here today, created RenegadesOfPuck.com, has created all of the posters and the original artwork for the Renegades of Puck and for Renegades of Puck TV. But it goes so far beyond that. When it comes to helping me build the brand and my social media plan, nobody is better than Brandy at Stripe Digital Solutions. You need help, you need a partner, and you need a good person that can jump in the trenches with you and help you build your business. Check out what Stripe Digital Solutions can do to help you. You see every single episode what Stripe Digital Solutions does to help me. Now, I can't wait to see what Stripe Digital Solutions can do to help you. Wanted to mention just a couple other things as we head out the door. The Josi Carrier disaster on the game-winning goal for the St. Louis Blues. It's something that cannot happen. The captain of the team is a Norris Trophy-winning defenseman and will probably be a Norris Trophy finalist this year. He has been touted as a defenseman, getting better and better at the position every year, not just focused on the offense. So we expect the captain of the team and a Norris Trophy winner to make a better play and be more competitive on the back post. Alex Carrier has been quite a good prospect and a very good rookie defenseman in the NHL. To allow a player of Kairu's skill to go around him along the wall, gain position, momentum, and then make that pass is simply unacceptable. The top pair on a team cannot give up a goal like that in the waning moments of a game when you are fighting for every critical point. Carrier will learn. Josi will continue to improve, hopefully, and not make that same play a second time. This was, unfortunately, a wasted opportunity for the Nashville Predators today after fighting so hard to get back into this game. The captain, Roman Josi, was a participant in the goal that cost the Predators this game. That's facts. Also, the empty net pull. UC Saros getting pulled when the Predators did not even have possession of the puck, and with the amount of time that was left on the clock, is something that cannot happen. The The Predators, frankly, have not been a very good team with UC Saros pulled. I cannot even remember the last time they had a big 6-on-5 goal or a big comeback at the end of the game. To give up multiple empty net goals, it only makes the margin of defeat look that much worse. It makes the numbers look a little bit sillier. But for the Nashville Predators and for head coach John Hynes and the entire coaching staff, pulling the goaltender needs to be done as a professional method of trying to gain an advantage in a hockey game. It's not just something that you yelled out there and say, okay, I guess now's as good a time as any, because it doesn't work that way in the National Hockey League. The Preds were burned by that, and that gave them no opportunity to come back. They may have. At other points in the game, they were able to show resilience and come back. Don't know if they would have, don't know if they could have. They weren't afforded the opportunity because the coaching staff made a piss-poor decision pulling UC Saros right there. Simple. Regroup. You're already on a plane. You're already heading to Minnesota, and you got third place in the Central Division on the line. Go take care of your business as you did earlier in the season when you went and faced off against the Minnesota Wild with big save Dave Riddick in net. No idea who John Hynes will start in this net. We'll find out, I'm sure, sometime tomorrow. So, I hope that the Nashville Predators have a better result. I hope they come away with 2 points and that we have better things to talk about. And I hope that there's a lot more numbers spread out across the box score. The Nashville Predators cannot become a one-line team. If they have become just a one-line team at this point, then it is up to David Poile at the trade deadline to find a way to be effective, efficient, and not give up too much to bring in a little bit of scoring punch. There are plenty of teams out there across the landscape that are absolute garbage and dumpster fires that have good individual offensive pieces. Some of them may even be affordable for the Nashville Predators. Outstanding episode, Renegades of Puck. Sure to appreciate each and every one of you jumping in the trenches with me. We will be back tomorrow in the bunker, wrapping up this Minnesota Wild game, and we'll be previewing the next game for the Nashville Predators that will take place on Tuesday against the Pittsburgh Penguins on home ice. So a huge night and a huge weekend in the Central Division. The Nashville Predators dropped the first of two on the back-to-back. Hopefully, we'll see what they can do tomorrow in Minnesota. Going to be a hell of a night of hockey and great viewing over the weekend. For Sean C. Smith, for Nostradamus, for Ryan Baston, for K. Perk, for Ann K., and of course for the ultimate one, I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick tabs, love, and respect.